awesome people on this wonderful Wednesday. I'm super excited you are here. So let's first start our math lesson, of course, with a quick warm-up. We're going to have 3 problems that I want us to see how quickly we can solve them using place value. Remember, we add or subtract numbers that are in the same place. So I want you to look at the problem, find the numbers in the same place, put them together, and get your answer. So let's see how quickly you can do it. Okay, 47 minus 3. What is 47 minus 3? It's 44. We've got a double bill. No. Come on, get together. It's 44. We have 4 tens, and 7 minus 3 equals 4 in our ones place. Okay, keep it up. So what about 47 but minus 30? Look, that 3 moved places. So what would be 47 minus 30? What would that be? It would be 17. In our tens place, we have 4 minus 3, and that's equal to 110. And then in our ones, we have 7 minus 0, which just leaves us still with 7 ones. Good job. Here's our last one. What if we switch the sign? What is 47 plus 30? All our numbers are in the same places, but you're going to do 47 plus 30. What will that be? So now you're going to add the tens together, and we'll have 77. 4 tens plus 3 tens equals 7 tens. 7 ones plus 0 ones still equals 0 ones. So our answer is 77. Good job warming up that brain with some place value solving. Okay, let's take a look at our learning target for Wednesday. It says, I can use clue words to determine how to solve a word problem. So today on this wonderful Wednesday is a word problem day. We have so many W's in that name. So we're going to be again working on applying our math skills to real life situations in the world. And that's why I love word problems so much. And we're going to be really working on our skills to find clue words to tell us what kind of problem we're going to make. So I want you to have out your blue and your red sheet that talks about the addition and the subtraction clue words. Because today we're practicing both. So we're really going to have to look for that clue word because it's going to tell us, are we going to use addition or subtraction? Since we know strategies for both, we are going to again practice switching back and forth. So make sure you have your clue sheet out so you can use it as we're being math detectives. And today with word problems, we are having to bring in all our knowledge all together to work on it. Because not only are we going to have to be detectives and look for clue words, we are also going to have to be detectives when we ask ourselves those big questions we were talking about yesterday, when we're trying to figure out which strategy we're going to use to solve. The clue word is going to tell us if we're going to use addition or subtraction. But remember, looking at the ones place and asking ourselves these key questions is then going to tell us which strategy we're going to use. So there's a lot that's going to go on in our brain today, but I have a feeling that you are up for the challenge. So remember, when we're trying to figure out what strategy we're going to use, we're going to ask ourselves, are the ones bigger than 10? That is going to tell us which addition strategy to use. Can you read it with me? Are the ones bigger than 10? But then in subtraction, we are going to ask ourselves a different question to find our strategy, and that is, can I subtract the ones? Read it with me. Can I subtract the ones? When we ask ourselves these two questions, we're going to be able to figure out what strategy is going to be best to help us solve our addition and our subtraction problems. So there is so much detective knowledge that we are going to have to bring in today. So I really want to make sure you are sharp and following along with us today. So everyone's going to need a whiteboard out. Everyone will need a whiteboard to practice setting up and solving our problems using one of our awesome strategies. So, you have your whiteboard out? Let's take a look at our first fantastic word problem. Okay, I want you to follow along and be looking up here as I read this first problem to us. And I want you to be thinking about, what clue word do you see that's telling us to use addition or subtraction? It's going to appear on this sheet, so keep your eye out. Here we go. The Tigers have 45 iPads. The snakes came and took away 8 iPads. How many iPads do the Tigers have left? Okay, did you see the clue word? Let's read it one more time. The Tigers have 45 iPads. The snakes came and took away 8 iPads. How many iPads do the Tigers have left? Ooh, okay. Did you see some clue words on here? In this word problem that's going to tell us how to solve? What clue word do you see? There's actually 2. There's one right here with took away. That is on our subtraction clue word with take away. If you're going to take away or you took away something, there's now going to be less than there was before. What's the other clue word? This clue word is in our question. What's the other clue word? Left. How much do they have left? That means what's left over after some were taken away. And that is also on our red clue sheet. It's left. And both of these clue words tell us, what are we going to use? Addition or subtraction to solve? We're going to use subtraction because both of these clue words appeared on our red side of the paper. So we know we're going to use subtraction, but what numbers do we need to use? What's the equation we're going to set up? What are we going to do? We have 45 iPads and 8 iPads. So, we need to set up a subtraction equation. How are we going to set that up? What will we start with? 45, we're going to start with the biggest number, minus, because we know it's subtraction, minus our second number, the smallest one, 8, is going to equal blank. This answer will answer our question of how many iPads are left. So first we got to decide, how are we going to solve this problem? That's what we need to ask ourselves next. And we're going to look at the ones place, of course. So I want you to look in your problem. You should have it written down. And can you underline the ones place? Underline the ones place. Okay, we have a 5 and an 8. Now this is subtraction. So we're going to ask ourselves, can I take away the ones? Can I take away 8 from 5? Yes or no? What do you think? No, we can't take away 8 when we only have 5. So if we answered no, what strategy are we going to use? We are going to use our take from 10 strategy. Because big to take from the 5, so we want to take from the 10 instead. So I know all of us are really, really awesome at this subtraction strategy. So again, I want you to work through it on your own. You can say it out loud if you want that challenge, but everyone needs to solve this problem by taking out a 10. When you're done solving, you're going to come back and check your answer with us. Are you ready? Here we go. Awesome, welcome back. How did you do on your own? Did we get the same answer of 37? 45 minus 8 equals 37. And we solved this by taking from the 10. We took the 8 from the 10, and then we added it to what was left over, and we got 37. So we solved this problem correctly. But are we done yet? This is a word problem. We can't just solve it and walk away. What do we have to do? We have to answer it in words. If it's a word problem, it's given to us in words, and we have to answer it in words. So what would we say? The Tigers have blank iPads left. What would be our complete sentence with our answer? What would it read as? The Tigers have 37 iPads left. We are using our answer that we got when we solved and including it in our sentence to fully answer this word problem. Awesome job, Super Scholars. We had to use so much detective knowledge to solve this one word problem. So though, are you ready to do it again? Okay, let's keep challenging that brain. Everybody reset. But before we look at our second problem, I want you to move your body so you're ready. So stand on up so we can move our body before we get solving. So my this or that question for you is, would you rather go outside and play with a kite? Would you rather go fly a kite? If so, you're going to move side to side. Or would you rather go play on a swing? If so, you're going to move front and back. So you're deciding between a kite or a swing. What would you pick to go play with? I love swings, so I am going to move back and forth 5 times. Are you ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Awesome. Come back to where you are seated and quickly go and sit right back down in your seat. And have that whiteboard out so we're ready to work that math brain. Here we go. Okay. Our next problem we need to solve is, make sure you're looking for that clue word. Miss Rangel has 86 pencils. Mrs. Garai gave her 9 more pencils. How many pencils does Miss Rangel have in total? Ooh, did you see a clue word? Let's read it one more time. Miss Rangel has 86 pencils. Mrs. Garai gave her 9 more pencils. How many pencils does Miss Rangel have in total? Okay, this is our mystery. So, how are we going to solve this problem? Addition or subtraction? What clue words did we find, math detectives? What's telling us how to solve? We have the word more in here. If you're getting more, you are adding on to what you already have. Okay, there is our first clue. Where's our second clue? It was always in the question. We have in total at the end. We're asking, how many pencils does Miss Rangel have when you add them all together. So now that we found more and in total, we know we're using what kind of problem? Addition. We know we are going to add numbers together. But what's our sentence going to be? What numbers are we going to add together? Where do you see what numbers? We have our 86. And what are we going to add to 86? The 9 more pencils. We're going to do 86 plus 9. This is our equation we're going to solve. But super scholars, we have to decide how are we going to solve this equation. There are different strategies we can use. And this is addition, so we want to ask ourselves the question, are the ones bigger than 10? We want to figure out if the ones together are bigger than 10. So can you underline, where are the ones in 86 plus 9? On your whiteboard, underline what number are the ones. The 6 and the 9s are ones. That's what we're looking at. Okay, if we add 6 to 9, 6 plus 9, is that bigger than 10? Yes or no? Yes, it is much bigger than 10. 9's paired to 10 is only 1, and 6 is much bigger. So if we add them together, we're going to get a number bigger than 10. So if we answered yes, what does that mean? What strategy are we going to use? We have to make the next 10 to solve. That is the strategy we are going to be using, making the next 10. And I noticed this strategy is still a little confusing for some of us, so we're going to start this strategy off together, and then you'll finish it on your own. Okay, super scholars, so if we want to solve this by making the next 10, we need to turn 86 into its next 10. And we're going to do that by adding what we need. So what is 6's pair to 10? What is 6's pair to 10? It's 4. If 4 plus 6 make 10, we can add 4 to 86 and we'll get the next 10. So let's go ahead and do that. We need to take the 4 from the 9 and we're going to add it together with our 86. So what would that be? 86 plus 4 equals what? What is 86 next 10? It's 90. We have 8 tens. The next 10 is going to be 9 tens, which is 90. Okay, super scholars, we've got 90, but that's only part of our answer. What more do we need to add to 90 to get our answer? What's left over? And we have to add what's left over in the 9. So if we took out 4, what would be left over in the 9? Can you finish solving this problem? It would be a 5 would be left over. So we have to add our leftovers together. And what would that be? That would be 95. When we're adding our 10 to our leftover ones, we get 95 as our final answer. Good job, super scholars. But are we done? Are we finished with our word problem? No, we're not. We solved, but we need to answer it in this complete sentence. So can you read it with me? Miss Rangel has pencils in total. We found that out. How many pencils does Miss Rangel have in total? 95. So we are going to make sure we write a sentence about that. Miss Rangel has 95 pencils you're going to use, and then making the next 10. I know that's a lot of steps, but we've been practicing so much, we're just building up that knowledge to eventually show how much we truly know. So for your task today, you are going to solve a word problem on your own. You're going to have to figure out, is it addition or subtraction? And what strategy am I going to use? Let's take a look. So here is your next mystery. Let's see if as I read it, you can already find that clue word. Here we go. DMS has 38 pumpkins. Father Ted brought 6 more pumpkins. How many pumpkins does DMS have all together? One more time. DMS has 38 pumpkins. Father Ted brought 6 more pumpkins. How many pumpkins does DMS have all together? So there's a clue right in there that's going to tell you if you're going to solve with addition or subtraction. Once you're able to figure that out, you need to set up the problem and decide, how am I going to solve? What strategy am I going to use? When you have solved using the correct strategy, then you need to do a sentence. I want to see you answer this problem in a complete sentence. I'm not going to give you the sentence frame for this one. I want to see you answer this question using a complete sentence and your answer you got from solving. So second grade, this is your challenge today to figure out how many pumpkins does DMS have all together. You'll solve and answer in words just like we do for all our word problems. So you're taking all your Module 1 math knowledge today and squishing it together. I'm super excited to see all those skills come together and see how everyone solves this new mystery. So let's go be those math detectives and get solving.